I bet there are plenty of ant species out there, each with their own unique features and weird abilities that make them stand out in the ant population, or what makes them dominate the rest of the ants on the planet. But in honor of Ant-Man, we take a look at some of his powers and match each of them with an ant counterpart. Let's go. Without his special suit, Ant-Man doesn't have superpowers, but wearing them enables him to shrink himself, allowing him to penetrate facilities without being noticed, also giving him stealth advantage in battle. In the ant kingdom, the smallest of them is the thief ant. Tiny as they may seem, they live as social parasites, building their nests just next to unsuspecting bigger species of ants. What makes these thief ants a threat to their neighbors is that they also bore small tunnels from their nest, leading to the bigger ants' chamber where they keep their queen's eggs. If they are undetected, these thief ants will take the eggs and feast on them. Not only can Ant-Man shrink and change back to his normal size, he can also turn himself into a gigantic superhero. In this state, his strength is also enhanced, allowing him to do more damage against his opponents. Meet the bullet ant, found in the rainforests of Central and South America. This ant species is the world's biggest ant. But the reason for these ants being famous is not just because of their size. Rather, they're known for their extremely painful sting. When Ant-Man shrinks, he keeps his normal strength in his minute size. It doesn't sound so exciting, but in comic logic as well as in the movies, this explains why he can still knock out bad guys despite being just about the size of an ant. In the ant world, matching that feat of strength is the leafcutter ant, which is considered to be the strongest ant species in the world. This is because the leafcutter ants can carry 20 to 50 times their body weight, using only their jaws. Now, theoretically speaking, if ants were as big as humans, I think a single leafcutter ant would be able to lift your house if it wanted to. By wearing his cybernetic helmet, Ant-Man is able to communicate with ants. This allows him to control a number of ants to help him in his missions. Certain species of ants are also capable of subduing other ant colonies, like the Polyergus. These ants have mastered the art and science of slave making. They infiltrate and raid nests of other ant species and capture their eggs. The eggs are brought back to their own colony to be raised as slaves and will be forced to work for the Slavemaker ants for the rest of their lives. Compared to the wasp, Ant-Man can't fly and doesn't have blasters for neutralizing villains. But when it comes to being airborne, he's aided by winged ants in most of his adventures. Thank God there aren't any species of flying ants, for that would be catastrophic for humans. The occasional flying ants we see around us are just a special group of ants that grew wings for the purpose of reproduction. In other words, winged ants are actually mature ants whose sole function is to mate and establish a new colony. And yes, Ant-Man doesn't have blasters or even use one, but it would be cool if he did. However, there are species of ants that shoot acid to ward off their predators. Meet the Formica Ruffa. Like other ant species, they're capable of spraying formic acid as a form of self-defense. These tiny ant species spray formic acid, which can cause bodily damage to other animals, especially to exposed areas like their eyes. So Ant-Man doesn't use weapons like guns or blasters, but in the first movie back in 2015, with the help of his ant friends, they destroyed the PIM research building with explosives. To conclude this episode, I just want to mention in this list that there are such things as exploding ants. The warrior class from this exploding species of ants sacrifice themselves for the colony by deliberately rupturing their abdomens, thereby releasing and splashing a poisonous fluid at their invaders. Well, if you were to assemble Ant-Man's next group of ant sidekicks, which of these amazing ants would you pick for his future missions? This is the Daily Plaintoes channel saying thank you for watching this episode, and we'll see you again next time. If you enjoyed watching these clips, please check out some more of our videos by clicking on any of these links. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.